Part 36. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 351. Chapter 351. Mo Yessie, are you back? She has connections at the hospital, so it is not difficult at all to get a pregnancy test report. Suzy wants her to go for a checkup, then she should go for a checkup. As long as the inspection report comes out, he will naturally no longer doubt her. Speaking of which, this is still a good opportunity to prove her. Thinking of this, Qiao Angzhen immediately nodded in agreement, looking obedient, and said in a soft voice, "Okay, I listen to Brother A's. Then let's go to the hospital for a checkup now, okay?" Suzy was stunned. Qiao Angzhen agreed so quickly, which actually made him doubt the idea that just came up. Could it be that he is too worried? But since he had doubts in his heart, regardless of whether he was being careless or not, he had to take Qiao Angzhen to the hospital for a checkup. If he really misunderstood, the worst he could do was buy her a gift again, just as an apology. Soon, the two people left through another door of the police station under the cover of the police, avoiding a group of reporters who had been waiting at the main entrance of the police station. Asterisk. Mo Yessie drove home immediately after finishing the socializing. When he arrived at Lushan Villa, Ren came out to greet him. "Young lady, are you awake?" Mo Yessie took off his coat, pulled off his tie, and handed it to Ren's hand. Ren took it, followed him in small steps, and replied respectfully, "The young lady hasn't come downstairs yet, she must be still sleeping." After learning that Qiao Mian had dysmenorrhea, Mo Yessie didn't trust her. "I was afraid that she stayed in the bedroom because she felt uncomfortable." He went straight upstairs, walking very quickly. After opening the door and walking into the bedroom, he saw the petite figure lying on the big bed motionless, maintaining the same position as when he left, still sleeping soundly. Mo Yessie couldn't help but slow down his steps. He slowly walked to the bed, reached out and gently pulled off the thin blanket. Qiao Mian also covered her head when she slept. Mo Yessie pulled away the thin blanket covering her head, revealing a beautiful and tender little face. Sleeping soundly, the fair and tender skin of the girl lying on the big bed showed a faint crimson color, and her white and rosy skin was as delicate as a baby's skin. "Looks like it's easy to touch." Mo Yessie couldn't help but reached out and caressed her cheek. He felt that there was something silkier than satin under his palm. This skin as white and smooth as gelatin made him unable to put it down. The skin on her body is also so soft and smooth, and feels great to the touch. Especially in summer, when touched, the ice is cool and very comfortable. As soon as Qiao Mian opened her eyes, she saw a pair of deep and burning eyes. She was stunned for a few seconds and then spoke, her voice still a little confused, "Mo Yessie, are you back?" Seeing that she was awake, Mo Yessie picked her up, including the quilt, and held her wrapped like a silkworm baby in his arms. He lowered his head, kissed her tender and delicious red lips, and said in a gentle voice, "Well, I'm back." Qiao Mian turned her head and glanced at the clock hanging on the wall, a little surprised. "I finished the socializing so early. It's just 5 o'clock now." She thought that Mo Yessie wouldn't be back until at least 7 or 8 o'clock. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 352. Chapter 352. Chapter 352. Is my husband doing well? If you are socializing, don't you have dinner out? Mo Yessie held her soft and sweet lips in his mouth and said in a low voice, "Well, I promised you to go home before you wake up, and I must do it. Honey, is my husband doing well? Do you want to give me a reward?" The man's voice is already full of magnetism, and when he deliberately lowers his seductive tone, it becomes even more and sultry. His hot and moist lips were still kissing her lips. Qiao Mian's whole body was lifted up and limp in his arms, and her whole body was numb. It feels like my ears are almost pregnant. She was so dizzy from the man's superb kissing skills that she gasped and said, what kind of reward? When Chiao Mian went to bed, she stretched out her hand to pull off her pajamas because she felt too hot. She tore off several buttons of her pajamas, but she didn't notice it herself. At this time, she was lying in Mo Yesie's arms. When he lowered his head, he could see her dazzlingly white skin. Mo Yesie's eyes darkened and his eyes were hot. I've been holding it in for a whole day. It feels so uncomfortable. Honey, can you help my husband solve it? The man continued to coax softly, I will try to be as quick as possible. Chiao Mian's little face wrinkled into a ball, full of reluctance. He is a liar. Last time, he said the same thing. Baby, just once, huh? Mo Yesie reached out to push away the broken hair from her ears, and pressed his hot lips to her white and delicate earlobes. Help me once, and I will give you a surprise, how about it? What a surprise. Chiao Mian's body trembled uncontrollably. Asterisk. After an hour. He put on a bathrobe and walked out of the bathroom with Chiao Mian in his arms. Chiao Mian blushed and buried her head in his chest. Thinking of the blushing and heart-pounding scene just now, her face couldn't help but feel hot. The man's deep, hoarse breathing. As soon as he thinks about it, Chiao Mian's heartbeat will become very fast. Moreover, when she was helping him with something just now, looking at his sultry look, she actually had the urge to kiss him. Thinking of this, Chiao Mian's face became even hotter. Why does she think she has changed her color? No, she doesn't admit that she has changed her color. It's all Mo Yesie's fault. Who made him look so seductive and seductive on purpose? He is so good looking and has such a good figure, and at that time, a normal woman would have the same thoughts about him as she did. Thank you for the reward, which is neither high nor heaven and earth, okay. Thank you to my old lover, for acting like a baby in Zhang Cheng's arms. The spring breeze is blowing, 100% sincere, VIP patient of the mental hospital, thank you for your reward. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 353. Chapter 353. Chapter 353 Mo Yesie, you are shameless. So, her reaction just now was normal. Any woman would turn into a pervert at that moment. Can't blame her. The man who was satisfied had a very good attitude. He held Chiao Mian in his arms like a baby. He looked down at the girl who huddled in his arms, not daring to raise her head to look at him. Her thin lips were pleasant. Arouse. Speaking, the hoarse and dark voice is extremely sexy. Baby, there is nothing to be shy about. We are husband and wife, and everything we do is normal. I like you, that's why I let you do that. I can do that to you if you want. I do not want it. Chiao Mian lay in his arms and said angrily, you lied to me, I will never believe you again. He is a big liar. A low laugh sounded above the head. Mo Yesie looked at her little red face, which was as pink and tender as a peach and delicious, making people want to take a bite. He carried her to the bed and put her on it gently, leaning over her a soft kiss on the cheek. The deep, dark eyes were filled with gentle water. I don't want to lie to you either. She glared at the man in front of her with shame and annoyance. Mo Yesie, you rogue. The man admitted frankly, well, I am a gangster. Honey, I never want to be a gentleman in front of you. He just wanted to play rogue to her. Chiao Mian. Looking at the culprit in front of her, she was filled with anger and said harshly, Mo Yesie, you are shameless. Well, I'm shameless. The man nodded in agreement. What kind of face do you want in front of your wife? If he cares about face, can he still enjoy the benefits like just now? In Moyesi's opinion, whether or not something like face is different is different. It is a stupid behavior to ask for face from your wife. Chiao Mian Mian. After Moyesi readily admitted that he was a gangster and shameless, she found that she seemed to have nothing to do with him. Criticize him, he doesn't care at all. Not only did he not care, he also had a charming smile on his lips, shamelessly showing off his charm to her. Baby, it's not a good thing for a man to be too fast. That night was her first time. And it happened while she was drunk. She doesn't even remember him, and probably can't remember what it was like to be entangled with him that night. No wonder she disliked him for not being quick enough. In that regard, she also had the experience of that night, so naturally she didn't understand many things. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 354. Chapter 354. She couldn't understand a word he said. In the future, she will understand. Chiao Mian Mian. She reached out to cover her red face, her ears were burning. I don't know what you are talking about, I can't understand. This is something inappropriate for a girl to say. She didn't understand a word she said. Well, it's okay if you don't understand. The man who leaned down with his hands on the bed stretched out a hand, touched her head lovingly, and said with dark eyes, in the future, I will use practical actions to let you understand. Of Chiao Mian Mian. This man looks cold and unattainable in front of everyone. He is like a who does not eat the fireworks of the world, and he has no anger at all. Even in front of MRSMO and Grandma Mo, he had a sullen face and rarely saw a smile on his face. At first glance, he is the type of man who is cold and ascetic. This is how Chiao Mian Mian felt when she saw him for the first time. At that time, I thought he must be very cold, very arrogant, and very difficult to approach. I didn't expect that. In front of her, he seemed to be a different person. Where are you cold, where are you arrogant, where are you inaccessible, where are you ascetic? Could it be that the Moyesi in front of her had a different soul? Seeing Chiao Mian Mian so embarrassed that she wanted to shrink into a ball and cover her face without looking at him, Moyesi let out a pleasant smile in his throat, his eyes became more gentle and doting. Baby, are you going to keep covering your face like this? Are you looking at me? Open your eyes and look at your husband, huh? She was speechless when it came to the rest of the story. She blushed and glared at him fiercely. Moyesi wasn't annoyed either, he just thought the way she stared was so cute. He deliberately teased her, what do you think? Chiao Mian Mian. This man, he must have done it on purpose. Humph, I won't talk to you anymore. Chiao Mian Mian waved away his hand angrily, turned over with the stall in her arms, and was too lazy to pay attention to him anymore. With a smile on his lips and gentle eyes, Moyesi stood by the bed for a while, then leaned over and picked her up from the bed. The man held the girl's petite and soft body firmly in his arms, lowered his head and kissed her on the cheek. He said in a gentle voice, baby, are you hungry? Is there anything you want to eat? I'll go eat with you. Chiao Mian Mian tilted her head to the side and didn't want to pay attention to him. This hateful man. Forcing her to do that kind of thing and teasing her like this is simply disgusting. Moyesi turned around with her in his arms and walked towards the dressing room in the bedroom. Didn't we agree to go out to eat tonight to celebrate Chen Chen's discharge from the hospital? Something was delayed yesterday, so I'll make up for it today. Chiao Mian Mian raised her head when she heard him talking about Chiao Chen. She blinked and frowned slightly. You mean to let Chen Chen go out to eat with us? Well, is there a problem? There's no problem. It's just that Chen Chen is in a bad mood. Is he willing to go out with us? I don't know how he is doing now. Just because he was in a bad mood, he wanted to go out for a walk. After entering the dressing room, Moyesi carried her to the single sofa nearby and gently put her on it. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 355. Chapter 355 Naked Seduction. There's no problem. It's just that Chen Chen is in a bad mood. Is he willing to go out with us? I don't know how he is doing now. Just because he was in a bad mood, he wanted to go out for a walk. After entering the dressing room, Moyesi carried her to the single sofa nearby and gently put her on it. He turned around and walked to the closet and took out a set of shirts and trousers. Chiao Mian looked up and saw that the shirt and trousers in his hand were all black again. She couldn't help but said, "Are all your wardrobes filled with black clothes and trousers? Are there no other colors?" Moyesi likes to wear black shirts and trousers. Chiao Mian glanced into his closet just now, and most of what she saw was black. Although she also thinks he looks good in a black shirt and black trousers, which looks abstinent and sexy, but would it be a bit too boring and monotonous to wear it like this every day? The set of clothes Moyesi took out was to change into when going out. He had just taken it out of the closet. When he heard Chiao Mian say this, he thought for a few seconds and then put the clothes and pants in his hand back to their original places. Then he changed into a white shirt and black trousers. "How do you like this suit?" he turned around and asked Chiao Mian with the clothes in his hand. Chiao Mian. She thinks, it's pretty much the same. She found that the color of his clothes was very monotonous, as if they were only black and white. Just like his bedroom decoration, at a glance there are three colors, black, white and gray. She originally wanted to say that it was about the same, but looking at the eyes that were waiting for her comment with a hint of expectation, she thought for a moment and changed her words, "It's pretty good." "Well, that's it." After receiving her approval, Moyesi reached out to untie his bathrobe, picked up a fine white shirt and put it on. The bathrobe was untied, revealing his slender and strong body. The man's body proportions are particularly good, his limbs are slender and powerful, and the muscles on his waist and abdomen appear very powerful. The mermaid line extends downward, and further down, it is very fascinating. The place. This was not the first time she saw Moyesi without clothes. But every time I watch it, I feel like my heart is racing, my face is hot, and I feel like I have been seduced by him. Obviously, he did nothing. However, exposing such a body full of male hormones to her is not seduction. This is naked seduction. Chiao Mian blushed and looked away, her eyes rolling around. Although they are already a couple, they have also had some intimate behaviors. However, she still couldn't face his behavior of taking off clothes in front of her calmly. The point is, this man has a great figure and is too sexy. Chiao Mian felt that his behavior was deliberately seducing her. Just now, she almost lost control and had the idea of going over and touching his chest and abdominal muscles. When such an idea came to her, she felt that she was quite sexy. Wow, it's a new year. Here, I wish my babies all their wishes in the new year will come true. In 2019, we want to live a better, happier life than in 2018. In short, be happy, have good luck, and be happy. Thank you babies for all your companionship in the past. In 2019, we will continue to walk together hand in hand. Love you guys. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 356. Chapter 356 Go buy some clothes right away, I want to wear them. Chiao Mian couldn't help but glance at the man's collarbone and Adam's apple with the corner of her eye. Mo Yesi put on his clothes, which looked slim and slender. You can take off your clothes. The muscles that have been developed through long-term exercise are really great. Is Chiao Mian's favorite kind. She has never liked men with too exaggerated muscles. Men who are too muscular make her feel a bit scary. As for Mo Yesi, it's not too much, not too little, just right. Especially his waist and abdomen, which look particularly powerful at first glance. As soon as Mo Yesi lowered his head, he saw his wife's dark eyes staring at his waist, with a blush on her fair face. Chiao Mian was staring at Mo Yesi's body in a nymphomaniacal manner. When she raised her eyes to meet Mo Yesi's deep black eyes filled with teasing and ambiguity, she was stunned, as if she was electrocuted, and she hurriedly took her hand back. She jumped off the sofa. You change your clothes first, and I will come in after you have changed. After saying that, he covered his hot face, turned around and ran out of the locker room. Mo Yesi pressed one hand on the button of his shirt, looking at the girl running out in a panic, his thin lips curled up little by little. Asterisk. After changing his clothes, he walked out of the dressing room and did not see Chiao Mian. I walked to the bathroom again and took a look, but I still didn't see anyone. Not only was she missing, her cell phone was also missing. Mo Yesi thought for a moment, took out his mobile phone and sent her a text message, "Where is it?" I wouldn't look at him changing his clothes. He might be so frightened that he hides. Chiao Mian replied quickly, "I'll go and see Chen Chen. It's still early now, let's go out later." It turned out that I was going to see Chiao Chen. Mo Yesi raised his lips and replied, "Well, there's no rush. Have a good talk with him and call me if you need my help." After replying to the text message, he walked out of the bedroom and called Ren over. "Master, do you have any orders?" Ren folded his hands and stood in front of him respectfully. Mo Yesi was silent for a few seconds and said in a calm tone, "I'm going to buy some clothes right away. I want to wear them." "Rene." He raised his head in confusion, "Master, your clothes are customized in advance every month. If you need new clothes, I'm afraid you won't be able to buy them right away." All of Mo Yesi's clothes are customized by a dedicated image management department. All cut by hand. So, his clothes need to be customized 1 month in advance, and they are not the kind of clothes that can be bought immediately in the store. Things like food, clothing, housing, and transportation are all managed by Ren. After he took charge of these things here, this was the first time he heard Mo Yesi make such a request and told him that he wanted to buy clothes. In his impression, his young master never personally interferes with these trivial matters. Why is it so good, the young master wants to buy clothes? And asked him to buy it immediately. There are so many clothes in his wardrobe, aren't they enough? Hearing this, Mo Yesi frowned, as if he was a little dissatisfied. "Is that so?" "Yes," Master Ren said respectfully, "but if Master is really in a hurry, I can immediately send someone to a high-end shopping mall to buy some brand clothes for you." "Mo Yesi, what should I do if my wife thinks I don't dress young enough?" "Waiting online, quite urgent." "Thank you for the tip." "Thank you Zhang Chanyi for the reward." "Thank you for the lonely rainy day." The last pride of a girl is inferiority complex. Chestnut, parting, little freshness, little piggy, good morning, 156.98, 139.91, 173.13, 136.1968, 183.82 reward. Thank you everyone. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 357. Chapter 357. Don't buy black clothes anymore. Although the quality and workmanship are not as good as the clothing customized for you by your professional team, it can solve your immediate needs. After speaking, Ren looked at him again and asked softly, "Master, what do you think?" Moyesi didn't even know it would be so troublesome for him to put on clothes. "Buy it now, it's not available yet." He frowned and was silent for a while, then said, "Then go to the mall to buy some." Although Ren was very curious and wanted to know why his young master was so anxious to buy new clothes, he still responded respectfully, "Yes, young master. I will ask someone to buy them right away." Moyesi said again, "Don't buy any more black clothes." "Rene." He was stunned for a moment and asked doubtfully, "Master, don't you always like to wear black clothes? Did the master buy it for Mr. Chiao Chen?" Ryan thinks that's how it should be. The young master is not short of clothes, why is he suddenly in a hurry to buy clothes? And he specifically asked not to wear black clothes, so he definitely wasn't buying them for himself. Their young master likes to wear black clothes the most. Moyesi glared at him, "I'll wear it myself." "Rene." It's true that their young master wants to wear it himself. After a moment of surprise and astonishment, Ren asked carefully, "Master, does that mean that any color other than black is acceptable?" Moyesi thought for a moment, "Well, except black, buy some of other colors." He didn't know what color clothes Chiao Mian liked him to wear, so just buy a few of each color. There are so many colors to choose from, there is always something she likes. Ryan didn't know why his young master suddenly wanted to buy clothes on a whim. He only thought that the young master might be tired of wearing black and occasionally wanted to change his style. In fact, he also thinks that the young master should change his style. Although the young master is good looking and looks good in anything he wears, he has been dressed in black all year round, which makes him look a bit dull. The young master is still young, only 25 years old. You should still try to dress appropriately for his age. Especially, the young master has now found a young lady who is as young as a flower. If he dresses too mature and steady, walking with the young lady will make him look much older than the young lady. Thinking of this, an idea suddenly flashed in Ren's mind. It's probably because of this that the young master suddenly wanted to change his dressing style. Does he feel that his current appearance looks too much older than that of the young lady? That's definitely the case. Asterisk. Chiao Mian knocked on Chiao Chen's bedroom door and saw that Chiao Chen still looked listless. "Sister." He opened the door, called her, then turned around and walked inside. Chiao Mian followed him into the bedroom and closed the door with her hand. Chiao Chen walked to the window and stood at the window without saying a word, as if he was looking at something in trance. But his eyes were unfocused. Chen, have you calmed down? Are you ready to tell me about you and Shen Xian now?" Hearing the name Shen Xian, Chiao Chen's eyes flashed and he pursed his lips. "Of course, if you don't want to say it, then don't say it." Chiao Mian walked next to him and looked out the window. "Originally, these are your private matters, and I shouldn't interfere. But you are like this, sister. Don't worry. Chen, you have just been discharged from the hospital. I hope you can take care of your health." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 358. Chapter 358. She should not pester me again in the future. The doctor said that keeping a happy mood is very good for your body. I hope you can always be happy and not have too many worries. Chiao Chen was startled and looked back. He turned his head and looked at his sister who depended on him. He suddenly felt sour in his heart. His eyes suddenly turned red and he said with a choked voice, "Sister, I didn't mean to hide it from you. I just think I can handle it myself. Okay, no need to tell you. Shen Xian and I." The little tear-stained face appeared in his mind, and Chiao Chen felt a slight tingling sensation in his heart. She is a classmate in the same class as me and also my desk mate. She said she likes me, wants to chase me and wants me to be her boyfriend. I've rejected her many times. She said today is her birthday, and many students in our class will go to that restaurant to celebrate her birthday, so I went too. Jiao Mian nodded after hearing this. I roughly understand what's going on. So, it was not Jiao Chen who asked Shen Xian to have dinner alone, but he was deceived by Shen Xian. Sister, don't worry, I won't fall in love prematurely. After Jiao Chen finished speaking, he took a deep breath, looked at Jiao Mian's concerned and worried eyes, and squeezed out a smile from the corners of his lips. I have made it clear to her today, she shouldn't bother me anymore. I will study hard and get into a good university. These things will not affect me. Jiao Mian felt very distressed when she saw his forced smile. How could she not understand her brother? Maybe Jiao Chen really didn't like Shen Xian at first. It's just a woman chasing a man. Shen Xian looked at such a cute girl and pursued her for several years. It was difficult for Jiao Chen to maintain his original intention and not be attracted to her. If he really didn't care at all, he wouldn't be in this state now. Jiao Mian wanted to say a few words to comfort him, but she didn't know what to say. Although she could see some things, it was hard for her to ask. For her, the current result is considered good. From Shen Ro's attitude towards Jiao Chen, it can be seen that the Shen family has a very strong sense of family status. The Shen family absolutely looks down on the Jiao family today. Even if Shen Xian really likes Jiao Chen, it doesn't mean anything. Not to mention that when they go to college, they may be separated from each other. With such a strong family relationship between the Shen family, can Shen Xian and Jiao Chen be allowed to be together? Jiao Mian still felt angry when she thought of Shen Ro's disdainful words. If Mo Yesi hadn't been there at that time, she wouldn't have let Shen Ro leave like that. Mo Yesi had already had a quarrel with Gong Zili because of her, and she didn't want to cause him too much trouble. Now, Jiao Chen has completely rejected Shen Xian. Judging from Shen Xian's reaction, she must have given up on him. This result is good for both of them. Even if the two young people will be sad for a while because of this incident, it is better than the pain they will encounter after they really get together. Well, sister, I believe you. It's good if you can figure it out. After Jiao Mian was silent for a while, she gently put a hand on his shoulder and said with some seriousness, Chen, the most important thing for me now is to get up early. I performed the surgery on you so that you can recover as soon as possible. This is more important than anything else. Thinking of his illness, Jiao Chen's eyes dimmed. Shen Xian doesn't know he is sick yet. Would she still like him if she knew he had a heart disease that could kill him at any time? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 359. Chapter 359. Heart disease can be cured. Probably not. Who would like a sick young man? And now he doesn't even have a healthy and normal body, so who has the right to think about things that he shouldn't think about? Sister, can my disease really be cured? Jiao Chen's dark eyes were dull and unconfident. When I was in junior high school, there was a classmate who had the same disease as me. He also had after surgery and a lot of treatment, he still died. Sister. Jiao Chen raised his head, his dark and clear eyes were covered with a layer of water. The young man's voice was slightly choked, would I also, but, I can't bear to leave you. Chen, don't talk nonsense. Jiao Mian frowned, reaching out to hug the young man's too thin body, stroking his finely chopped hair with one hand. Her voice was a little choked. Heart disease can be cured, it's definitely not the same as your classmates. Your brother-in-law is an expert in related fields and is very powerful. He said that as long as you have surgery, your disease will be cured. By then, you will be like a normal person. You have to believe him, okay? Not all heart diseases cannot be cured. Our disease can be cured. We just need to cooperate with the doctor to treat the disease, and we will definitely be cured. I will ask your brother-in-law when you can have surgery later. It would be better if the surgery was done sooner. Chiao Mian didn't say these words very confidently. It is true that heart disease can be cured, but it is also true that in a situation like Chiao Chen's, there is half a chance of cure or failure. But Chiao Mian couldn't say that. If she shows no confidence, what should Chiao Chen do? Chen, believe in my sister and your brother-in-law. You must also have confidence in yourself and stop thinking wildly, okay? She comforted him for a while, and Chiao Chen's mood gradually stabilized. He pushed Chiao Mian away a little embarrassed, his face flushed. Sister, I'm sorry for making you worry about me again. Chiao Mian reached out and pinched his handsome and fair face like she did when she was a child, since you know, you are not allowed to think about it in the future. Ye Chiao Chen nodded. After a few seconds, he asked curiously, is my brother-in-law a doctor? Doesn't he run a company? He used to be a doctor. Chiao Mian didn't know much about this matter. She heard it from Lu Rao. He stopped practicing medicine a few years ago and is now running his own business. But the dean said, your brother-in-law is very powerful. As long as he performs the operation on you, the success rate of the operation is 100%. So, you can just wait for the operation with peace of mind, and you have to think about everything else, you know. Yet after hearing what she said, Chiao Chen felt a lot more confident and no longer as pessimistic as before. Are you okay now? Thinking that Mo Yesi was still waiting for them, Chiao Mian said, your brother-in-law said he wanted to celebrate you being discharged from the hospital, and we would have dinner tonight. Do you want to go? Chiao Chen stayed in the room for a whole afternoon and had figured out many things. Although I still feel a little uncomfortable, I won't be immersed in sadness all the time. He nodded and said, well, I'm fine. Brother-in-law invites you to dinner, of course I will go. Chiao Mian had a smile on her face, pinched the other side of his face, and said with a smile, you think about what to eat, I'll go change clothes, and we'll go out after changing. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 360. Chapter 360 almost looks exactly the same. Good. After Chiao Mian finished speaking, she turned around and walked out. Sister. As he walked to the door, Chiao Chen called her hesitantly. Is there anything else? She stopped and turned her head to look at Chiao Chen. Chiao Chen hesitated for a few more seconds before saying with a worried expression, is Shen Xian's sister very familiar with her brother-in-law? Chiao Mian was stunned. Chen, why are you asking this all of a sudden? She knew Chiao Chen well. He would definitely not ask about this matter for no reason. He must have something to say to her. Sister. Chiao Chen's face turned cold as he thought of Shenro. Be careful of her. I don't think she has any good intentions towards her brother-in-law. Chiao Chen himself has never been in love, but after all, he is a popular figure in the school, and there are many girls who admire him. He still knows what kind of eyes girls will show when they like boys. He has seen too many adoring looks. He doesn't want Shenro to be the next Chiao Angzan. His brother-in-law was snatched away. Although he thinks that his brother-in-law is quite good, he is not someone who can do such a thing. But he also thought Suzy was pretty good back then. Later it wasn't. Chiao Mian looked at his serious expression and was surprised for a moment. Then she curved her lips and nodded, yes, I will. Sister, I'm serious. Chiao Chen was afraid that she wouldn't take him seriously, so he emphasized again in a serious tone, she must like her brother-in-law, and she is jealous when she knows that you and your brother-in-law are married. You must not be so stupid anymore. Yes, treat enemies as friends. Although Qiao Chen doesn't like Shenro, he also thinks Shenro is very beautiful. Still the kind of beauty that boys would like. Have a good face, good figure, good temperament, and her clothes are fashionable and attractive. Compared to Qiao Angzhen, that is several levels higher. Although his sister is also very beautiful and not inferior to Shenro at all, sometimes men cheat on her because of her looks. Otherwise, why would so many men find mistresses who are uglier than their first wives? Okay, I understand. Xiao Mian also put away the smile on her face and said seriously, I will definitely pay attention. Don't worry, she and I can't be friends. She has been included in the list. On the list of people I hate. Originally, although she didn't like Shenro, she couldn't say she disliked her. Even though Shenro had an unpleasant conversation with her once before, she didn't dislike her. Until what happened today. After Shenro said so many harsh words to Qiao Chen, Qiao Mian hated this woman deeply. From now on, Shenro will be her enemy. She will never tolerate bullying her brother. Asterisk. A few people packed up and went out. Before going out, Mo Yesi fulfilled his previous promise and took Qiao Chen to his garage. As soon as Qiao Chen arrived at the garage, he was like crazy and extremely excited. At one moment he reached out and touched this car, and at another moment he reached out and touched that car. The whole person is extremely excited. Qiao Mian was worried that his excessive excitement would cause a heart attack, so she kept staring at him nervously. She didn't know much about cars either, so she just stood aside and watched. Mo Yesi patiently took Qiao Chen and introduced him one car after another. He explained carefully and Qiao Chen listened carefully. When the two of them walked side by side, they looked like real people. Both brothers are the same. Moreover, Qiao Mian discovered that Qiao Chen and Mo Yesi's eyebrows were indeed somewhat similar. Their eyes are almost identical. Thank you my Hua, 180-162, Yan Chen happily rewarded me. Thank you 188-51, 150-31, temperature difference, ahem, to me, 159-53, 186-44, insist, 187-55, farewell, 139-23, the dream of the Southern Army, pounding, Zhang Chanyi, a reward on a lonely rainy day. Thank you for your support. End of this chapter.